that's cool for that topic. I think we did good on that one. You know what I'm saying? We
That was only
I
definitely.
don't
one.
know.
That was
We
a
didn't
long
even
ass
talk about
conversation.
Troy's the only person to talk about the
Well,
foundation.
I mean, communication is a foundation that he described.
I
Communication.
think foundation starts like when you young. Like
Interesting.
when you get older, you start to figure out what your moral compass is, and your foundation becomes God. But your real true foundation is your upbringing.
I like it.
Like I think that how I treat my daughter, I'm hoping at least that translate to how a man needs to treat her when she gets older. Like how she sees our family, our household ran. I'm hoping that translate. And so like we all of us are from two-parent households that loved a man and a wife loved each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw that growing up, and we can't take that for granted, bro. Like
We
as
can't because that's not something like, especially in the African American community, that's not something that's
man,
natural.
it's not natural.
And what I've always noticed, and like I actually have to thank my parents. I've had to thank them one time because like I talk to people, and there's so many people that are friends that are dated that have so much childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And I mean, fortunately, and I guess like I mean, I didn't have childhood trauma. People talk about went on with other life. I'm like, damn. I was like, so the four of us were in a situation that is not the norm in the African American community.
I
We
can't
had parents
necessarily.
that are
I don't
met.
necessarily agree with that.
I mean, it's numbers.
I will say this. I think that's. I don't agree with that because I go to a church right now, and I'm in a couples class, and the people that I surround myself with, 90% of them are married or, family based. It's not.
Well, you just one thing I want to say: the people I surround myself with.
Mhm.
That's who you surround yourself with. So you make your own reality. But the real reality is, in the African American community, 80% of children are born out of wedlock. We didn't have that. So, and then even over 50% of African American families that get married lead to divorce. So you may have found your niche that's not the case, but if you look at the overall picture, it definitely is.
I got you. Well, I personally think that we don't even get married. I think that there's a lot more that we don't even get married. So I think that there's a lot more of us out here that believe they don't they don't believe in things like that Troy believes or you believe or I believe. I think they believe that, you know, there's I think they be- I guess I think some people believe most people believe that there's multiple people for them. I believe that women have a different um are after different things than what my wife may have been after back in the day. Now I told my wife this though. I said I am an entrepreneur. I am a businessman, CEO. I'm trying to run a business. I'm trying to build a business. Like don't expect me to go work for no 9 to 5 for somebody that what I'm saying that I know is not smarter than me or can do what I can do. You know what I'm saying? And I made sure that she understood where I was in this world and where my mind was and what I wanted to do before I brought her on.
Yeah, it's true. As an entrepreneur, getting married,
You need to do that.
you gotta communicate. I told my wife the exact same. I told my wife something similar. I said, hey, look, entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. Don't think that entrepreneurship is a career choice.
Right.
And so when I got in entrepreneurship, then if you're coming into my lifestyle as a leader of household, you got to understand that what I'm doing as an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
bro, it's something that we all got to do as a family.
Yeah.
And so you got to understand that there's going to be ups and downs.
Yep.
There's going to be feasts and there's going to be famines.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be times where you got abundance
Mm-hmm.
and times where you got a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you gotta understand that strategically as a family, we all moving together as one, together towards one goal.
Yeah.
And if you don't communicate that going into marriage, she gonna immediately think, bro, you're not. If it's in a famine stage where you don't have a lot, that she's gonna think that may think. I'm not saying she's gonna think, but she may think that you're not doing the responsibilities that you need to do as a husband.
Mm-hmm.
But in the ultimate, what you got to understand is in the long term, like in the long term, then it was something that was always communicated to her. In the long term, we gonna be ahead. And so it's one of those things that, like, if you choose to marry an entrepreneur, it's different, bro. Entrepreneurs, like, I don't know. I don't know. This is my personal opinion, and I'm biased. It's a struggle being an entrepreneur and married sometimes. I.e., as you start to look at some of the entrepreneurs who's uber successful, like a Jeff Bezos, and you start seeing how they, going through, they got all the money, but yet they still getting divorced. Or you look at an Elon Musk who been divorced, it's a reason behind that, bro,
Bill
because
Gates.
a Bill Gates, like a lot of the successful entrepreneurs, especially I'm talking about tech entrepreneurs and those are name drops, but this is across the whole entrepreneurship field.
Right.
Like it's a reason why they're struggling to maintain marriages in the long term.
Yeah, for me, I think it's about priorities. I think that oftentimes what you will see is a lot of entrepreneurs put their business before their family. But we choose to put our family before our business. And that comes out of sacrifice.
It comes as a sacrifice as an
Um,
entrepreneur.
as an entrepreneur. That comes out because what tends to happen is we have to worry about taking care of the children, making decisions around the house, doing X, Y, Z, and the wife may not think about the entrepreneurship part of it, what you're doing as an entrepreneur, as a factor into the equation as a nuclear family. And oftentimes, what we'll have to do is figure out how do we make decisions in such a way where we have the family still number one, and work with the entrepreneur game or work with our, from an entrepreneur's perspective as well. And we often got to make sacrifices and work around that. So, like, for example, let me give an example. I know that in order for me to get work done around the house or around in the entrepreneur realm, I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning
To get some business done.
to get business done. Like, I literally gotta wake up 5 a.m. because I know at 7:30, at 7 o'clock, I gotta get the child ready for school. I gotta make sure the wife has what she needs, make sure she has a bagel on the table, whatever. Yeah, it needs to be there. So we making decisions and we gotta work around it as a husband to figure out how do we prioritize the family and not sacrifice the family for the gain of entrepreneurship. And that's
hard.
That's hard.
I can attest to how difficult that is because right now, my wife's trying to start her own business, right? Side hustle, and she's getting into the bed with her laptop, and I'm like, no, this is my time. Like, yo, you got between the time you wake up until about 9 o'clock at night to handle everything you got to handle, and then if you want, she don't want to wake up early. She love her sleep. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, I day trade, so I'm up at 3, 4 in the morning anyway. I'm on the charts. You know what I'm saying? I'm up. I sleep 4 hours a night and maybe 3 hours during the day. That's how I get my sleep in. You know what I'm saying? Sometime during the day, I'll take a nap. I call it an executive break. You know what I'm saying? I just need to, because I've already been up for possibly 5 or 6 hours before they get out of bed, my wife and my daughter, right? So I'm already fed myself breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I might have already went outside at 4 in the morning and did a jog, walked the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So, but I completely understand you got to have some kind of separation and you got to have some kind of time for the family and time for the business. And when you try to blend them together, the family's going to sacrifice. The family's going to sacrifice. It just is what it is. The family's going to sacrifice because your focus as an adult now is to bring it in. Is to ensure that your family is secure and has abundance. So, you know, it's definitely a a hard balance to make happen. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I recommend every brother and sister out there, if your man or your woman is getting in bed with a laptop, bruh, it's no room for that, because now you're taking away y'all's intimate time.
Yep.
Whether that's time for you to watch a movie together, have that communication, that talk about the day, what trials and tribulations y'all may be facing throughout the week or whatever. And we're married. We're all married. So let me tell you right now, because you're married, you don't fuck every day. You don't have sex every day.
Different conversation, right?
That's a different conversation, right? But you know what I'm saying? But you still want that intimate time with your woman. You still want to be able to hold her, hug her, let her know that you're there for her, vice versa. You want to hear that from her as well. And you just want to make sure that y'all have time together. Because again, when you have a family with somebody, it's very difficult to differentiate between work, life. There's so many things. You got meetings. You might have a meeting. I know as an entrepreneur, sometimes I got a meeting in the evening time. I'm going to meet a producer at a restaurant at 8 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? We gonna chop it up. You know what I'm saying? I might be on a call for a reading for a movie script for 4 hours, from 6 to 10. You know what I'm saying? Once I get off that call, I have to be able to give my family the attention that they deserve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I like the fact that you mentioned intimate time, because intimacy is one of the key points. I would say it's a point of celebration, but also a point of conflict in a marriage. And sex is not always intimacy. And it's one thing I learned. Is that intimacy is more, how do you connect at the emotional level with your wife? And sometimes, like you said, entrepreneurship may block that. And I know that happened for me, where oftentimes I focus on business stuff, but I didn't get the quality time with my wife to be able to have us grow together as a couple, as a unit. And what I mean by intimacy is different from sex is there's other ways to be intimate with your wife. Having these vulnerable conversations that we have now, but having that with your wife, where you're talking about these issues, talking about things that help you grow together, is a form of intimacy. Touch is a form of intimacy.
Dog, I felt corny as hell telling my wife, "Look, baby, I just want to hold you tonight. I don't want to. Just come here. Let's just, let's go take a shower together and just sit down on the sofa, butt ass naked, and let's just hug." And
after the kid was asleep though.
Huh?
The kid was asleep.
Yeah, the kid was sleeping. Kid was definitely asleep.
If the kid wake up, say, "Hey, baby, we're wrestling. We're wrestling."
Daddy, what are you doing?
The kid definitely was in the crib.
I'm trying to figure out a timeline here.
I just put the crib down. She got a little bed in there now. About 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's something that I didn't realize. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to fall asleep holding you, shawty. That's it. Like, we ain't gotta get into it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, I need that heat. Give me your body heat right now.
Good idea. I get hot easily. I'm like, hold you for a second, like, okay, that's enough. I'm hot. I love you, but
Arm be going numb. You can't feel your fingers no more.
lay it on.
Can't feel my fingers, man. Got you that pain. You wake up in the morning, you're like, damn, I'm food. I'm trying to get out the bed. I'm like, yeah, if I get out of bed, she gonna wake up.
My wife be like, she's like, you don't like to cuddle me? Like, I do, but you have to let me get comfortable first. Cause like what you do, I get in the bed and you get comfortable, and I haven't gotten comfortable yet, so I'm uncomfortable while you're there. So it makes it look like I don't want to cuddle, but like, let me get comfortable, and then I'm gonna bring you into my space.
I'm gonna back these guys up and say another thing. You gotta know yourself in the bed. Me, if I get in the bed before my wife, I'm out. Cold. She get in the. I don't even know she in the bed. I'm done. Like, it don't take I'm a 2 minute dog. You get in the bed, cause I work so hard.
You better
I'm
explain
up all
that.
the time. As soon as I get in the bed, I'm literally tired.
I feel you.
I am tired. So if I get in the bed before her,
That happened the other night. Like,
I
got in the
have to get in the
bed.
bed after her.
Got in bed. Like, what time is it? She's like, it is 8:43. I'm like, all right, good night. Yeah, I'm out.
I mean, I'm in the reverse. I gotta get out the bed before she gets out the bed.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, hey, if she's get out the bed before I do, I feel like there's something I should be working, doing something before she gets up
I
in the
got
morning
you.
time. She's a night person, so she can stay up all night. I'm a morning person, so I can get up in the morning and work. That has its benefits and has its disadvantages, right? So when it comes down to like sex life, for example, I gotta know that hey, she's gonna have sex at night in nighttime. But I like to have sex in the morning. So it's like, hey, I gotta figure out what that compromise is gonna be. Of course, I'm always, nighttime. We ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm always ready.
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta
always ready.
get it when you get in.
I'm always ready.
And me and my wife, the opposite. I like it at night, and I want because it's gonna help me go to sleep. And then she's like, my time frame is between 3 and 5 in the morning. I'm like, but I'm asleep. So you can wake me up.
3 and
Like, I don't
5.
really want to wake up myself at that time. So yeah.
Woo, that's early, dog.
3 to 5 in the morning. That's when she like.
I don't even
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
So it sounds like a great idea.
Man, drink your cup of coffee. Man. Get up and
And I don't even drink coffee. Caffeine puts me to
But
sleep.
see, also I feel like, part of it is that there's this compromise in our relationships, right? So it's like, she gotta realize also that, that's a hard time for you to, you know what I'm saying, for you to get with it, dog. Give me at 1 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could stay up all night, or I could, maybe go down and wake up. I don't know. If I go down, shit, I ain't waking up for no, until it's time for me to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's definitely a compromise that you have to have with your significant other, and know what it is that you love. Know what it is that you're attracted to about your significant other as well, because I can't say that I have a foot fetish, but I like my wife to be done.
feet be done.
When I see your nails not done, that shit just tell to me this is fucked up. Probably this is messed up, but I don't feel like if your nails ain't done, your hygiene might not be right. That just me.
But if you like to have sex in the morning, man, your hygiene ain't gonna be right, bro. That morning breath real.
It ain't.
Morning breath is
The
real.
breath is on fire, dog. It's looking like this bonfire. That shit is heat. It's in heat.
I know we're talking about foundation. And,
we really ain't talking about but okay.
I'm gonna give a story because this is something that I learned real last few months of our marriage. I was talking to the therapist, and it was a one-on-one, me and him. It was like husband to husband type thing.
Yep.
And he was like, "Man, have you ever heard of the story of Genesis?" Yeah, George Genesis. He said, "Yeah, when Adam first got started, and well, he didn't say Adam. He said a husband came, and the wife ate this forbidden fruit, but they told her not to eat the forbidden fruit, but she ate the forbidden fruit. And the person who was over the forbidden fruit, in our case, in Christian faith, is God.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said, Adam, where are you?
Adam, where are you?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, if you think about that situation, that story, the responsibility wasn't on Eve. It was actually on Adam, because Adam was passive. So the passiveness of Adam caused Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. So he said, man, what tends to happen in a relationship, you have what is called a spirit of passivity. And what a spirit of passivity is, in situations where it's tough, situations where it's conflict, you will have this, you won't say anything, you won't communicate about it, and you won't have this conversation. But what you rather should have is what he called courageous leadership. I swear this changed everything I started thinking about for the rest, like literally the rest of my marriage. He said, courageous leadership is when you have a conversation with your wife, when you have this the courageousness to kind of lead your wife in every single aspect of her life. Oftentimes what we'll do as husbands is we'll have conversations with a wife about finances,
Mm-hmm.
or we'll have conversations of a wife about stuff that we're comfortable about talking with.
Correct.
But oftentimes when it's those areas where we don't necessarily want to talk, like right now we're talking about sex. And sex is, and like I said, in conversations with husband and wife, oftentimes it's taboo. You won't have a conversation about it. But as a courageous leader, you should have those conversations about every aspect, and you should lead every aspect. So that blew my mind because oftentimes when like shopping, getting groceries, I kind of left that up to her.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really need to do is know every aspect of what's going on in our family, in our relationship, and that's what a good courageous leader of a
Then you
husband
can
should do.
lead. If once you know everything, then you can lead
Yep. So
effectively.
yep. So over the past, I would say 2 or 3 months, 3 or 4 months, I really been looking at stuff that I necessarily didn't lead. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking at groceries. I've been looking at
children.
children.
Yeah.
Like before, I would say 6 months ago, I didn't know what size my daughter wore, what size shoe or what size clothes my daughter wore.
Wow.
Right? Because I left that up to my wife to really lead. But
Mm-hmm.
as I started to think about it, and I was telling Travis, is when they start to lead these different things, it started to become a burden on the wife. And they started doing like more things around the household, and they started having this burden, and it caused issues around conflict in the relationship.
Right.
But if I would have known, like, hey, let me take this particular aspect of the relationship, let me lead that piece, and I can be able to relieve her cognitive load. We'll talk about that in a whole nother. Her cognitive load and her load, then that will allow us to be able to have a more healthy relationship as a husband and wife duo. And I think that was the main thing around foundation is how do you as a husband, what is your definition as a husband from a foundational standpoint? I mentioned from a Christian standpoint, God loved the church. A husband should love his family and his wife, but what does that actually mean, right?
Yeah, how do you execute on it? What's the
Right.
practical way
What's
of
the
doing
practical way to execute on that? I kind of said it in a parable,
Right.
but it really means, look, you're willing to lead every aspect of your life. And as Travis know, our father always tell us, you got to be a provider,
it? Gotta be a protector,
protector,
Yep.
gotta be a priest
priest,
and a prophet.
and a prophet. And
Priest.
what that means is you got to be able to protect, meaning that Christ died for us. I mean, I had to go spiritual,
Go.
but Christ died for us as for the church.
Mm-hmm.
As a husband, you got to be willing to die for your family.
It's so funny you say that because I think my wife didn't realize that part. Because I had to tell her, like, yo, we in the bed, and I'm like, you giving me a whole lot of lip, dog, but you realize, like, I'm willing to die for you and our kids. Like, this ain't no, like, I'm out here, like, that's why I'm strapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no, this ATL, shawty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck around in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I might need to pull. I'm gonna need to draw. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
100%.
We always say a saying, me and Troy always talk about this, that it ain't your fault, but you're responsible
Yep.
as a man.
Yeah.
So like you may end up in a situation where because you wasn't aware, and that's what like as a CEO, and to bring this back to like family unit as an organization, as a CEO, if there's some fraud that happened in your company, the first person they looking at is you as a CEO. What happened?
Boy.
And you may not have been the person that did the fraud, but they looking at CEO because you're responsible for the people you hired that did the fraud.
100%.
And same thing in
Except
the
if you Trump.
Another story. So when you start, so when you start thinking about like marriage, like it's super important to be aware, even if it's delegated. So like even if it's a task that you're not doing physically, but you're still aware of that task of what's happening. And so many times we delegate and be like, I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want to have to go do the groceries. I don't want to have to, change the baby diaper. I don't want to have to get a bath or whatever it is that you put that burden on your wife, but you still need to be aware of like the systems behind like groceries. Like for example, man, and I'm struggling with this right now. My wife handles grocery shopping in our marriage. And every time she go to the grocery store, she called me, hey babe, what you want? I mean, babe, just give me the same thing you always give me. Give me the chicken, chicken breast and XYZ. But the truth be told is, man, we really need to probably tune up that system. Like there was I'm not gonna say the marriage couple, there was a couple that they had every single night knew exactly what they was eating. They had a menu essentially for the weeks. So when a wife went to the grocery store, she knew exactly, here's the menu for the week, here's the ingredients I need to buy, and so forth. And the reason why that's important, because, bro, a lot of this burden, and we was talking about cognitive load, but a lot of this burden is because she got to think about what she got to buy.
Yeah.
And so she getting stressed out. Like, she be stressed out about, what I got to get from the grocery store. How many eggs I need to get, what milk cartons I need to get. And she got to go through this whole mental process that stresses her out all the time. If we as men came and said, hey, look, babe, I got this for you. I already made a list for you. Here's the things I want. Here's the dinner menu, the lunch menu, the breakfast menu. I already put it through the AI tool, and they told me exactly all of the ingredients that you need to do.
You use the AI tool for
I use the
grocery list?
AI tool for groceries, dog.
But what he's describing is the work he's putting into his marriage. You see what I'm saying? There's work that goes in. It's still a business. It's still run like a. You see what I'm saying? It's still.
It's an organization.
It's still work that you're putting in. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily tell my wife what I necessarily want to eat, but when she says, "Baby, there's an order at Walmart. There's an order at Kroger," I'm on the way to go get it. You know what I'm saying?
My wife different. She know what she want. Like if it's expensive meats, that's on her list. I'm like, babe, we don't need ribeyes every week. Like we can do some chicken thighs. We do some boneless chicken thighs. We good. She's like, but I like it. So your wife is like, what can I make? My wife's like, ooh, look at this. We got T-bones. I'm like, I'm not even a big fan of T-bones, but she likes to buy them. So
I love T-bones.
yeah.
She can have it.
I'm gonna get one more wing.
I got some money.
All right, y'all. So tonight was the start of something spectacular. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys took something from it. And like I said, man, if you guys got anything you want to add, or you guys just appreciate what we're trying to do, subscribe, like, and comment. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to give y'all something that we've spent 40 years plus, or 38 plus years trying to get to this goal that we have. And we all have reached what I think is something that we all have thought about ever since we was kids, and that's having a significant other that appreciates us as well as we appreciate them. And also we've grown businesses. We've been able to take care of families, and that's something that I think we'll probably touch on more as we start to dive deeper into the Bro Fire. But today was the start of something that we believe can help each and every one of you potentially grow to achieve your goals, whatever those are, in business and in life. With that being said, I want to thank my panel here for being vulnerable, giving themselves to the world, and we'll continue to do so as long as you guys are willing to listen. Much love and appreciation. Stay blessed and highly favored. One love.
If you don't want to listen, we're going to keep talking.